Hello and welcome to another episode explaining the latest crypto news and analysis. In today's video, we'll be discussing an important interview Bloomberg Technology recently conducted with Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, regarding his outlook for Bitcoin in 2024. Saylor, whose company holds billions worth of Bitcoin, believes 2024 will be a major bull run for the cryptocurrency. He cites impending developments like SEC approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs and the next Bitcoin halving event. In Saylor's view, these catalysts will drive significant demand growth while constraining supply, creating ideal conditions for the Bitcoin price to surge. During his Bloomberg interview, Saylor elaborated on why MicroStrategy continues acquiring and holding Bitcoin even as new crypto investment vehicles like spot ETFs emerge. He also considered how new fair value accounting rules could benefit MicroStrategy. Overall, Saylor paints an extremely bullish picture of Bitcoin potentially reaching new highs by 2024. Let's get right into the interview.
Well, I think you can't really underestimate the significance of the spot ETFs. It's not unreasonable to suggest that this may be the biggest development on Wall Street in 30 years. I mean, the last thing that was this consequential was the creation of the S&P index and the ability to invest in all 500 S&P companies via one trade at the same time. So this is very eagerly anticipated, but most of the money in the Bitcoin market right now is the hodlers and the traditional crypto investors. Mainstream investors, mainstream retail, mainstream institutions have not had a high bandwidth compliant channel to invest in this asset class until these spot ETFs. So I think in January, the approval of the spot ETFs is going to be a major catalyst. It's going to definitely drive a demand shock. And then that will be followed in April with a supply shock because there are about 900 Bitcoin a day available for sale by natural sellers, the miners. And that number is going to be cut to 450 Bitcoin a day in April. So it's a pretty big deal. we could probably keep a bunch of economists and modelers working all day long to calculate the supply, demand, and price elasticity of this. I don't think we've ever seen, a 2 to 10x increase in demand combined with a halving in supply in a scarce, desirable asset that people want to hold for a long period of time. So I think we're expecting 2024 is going to be a major bull run for the asset class. We just don't know how far the asset's going to run at this point. The ETFs are unlevered and they charge a fee. MicroStrategy is an operating company, so we're fairly unique because we can generate additional Bitcoin via our operations, either via P&L operations or capital markets operations. And we can take advantage of intelligent leverage. Like we can borrow money at 0% interest for many, many years. And we did that with a convert, and then we can use it to buy Bitcoin. So you can really think of the ETFs as like shipping lines, very efficient, long haul, carry a lot of capital. MicroStrategy is more like an airline. We don't have the cargo capacity in our capital structure that a container ship has, but we can go faster and we have higher performance. So we provide you leverage and we don't charge a fee. And so if you can dig into our capital structure, you get comfortable with that, we offer sort of a high performance vehicle for people that are Bitcoin long investors. Well, we will absolutely continue to acquire Bitcoin. Our strategy is to acquire and hold the Bitcoin, and we will acquire it by a variety of different means as long as they're accretive to our shareholders. So our goal is always to find a way to pursue more Bitcoin per share for our shareholders. And sometimes we do it with debt, sometimes we'll do it with equity, sometimes we'll do it with cash flows from the business. And of course, the volatility in the market just creates more opportunities for us as an operating company. And our particular business strategy allows us to harvest that volatility to the benefit of our shareholders. Well, we're still evaluating that, and I leave that decision to our finance people. But what I'll say about the accounting is I think fair value accounting is a giant step forward for the industry. And up until now, corporations have had to invest all of their spare treasury reserves in sovereign debt. Sovereign debt normally has a compound annual growth rate of a few percent. The cost of capital for most companies is 10 to 12%. Bitcoin's got a compound annual growth rate of 40+% over the past 4 years, and even higher in the more distant past. So having a digital money like Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset allows you to beat the cost of capital, and it turns your balance sheet into an asset instead of a liability. So we think this is a real game changer for corporations. I think that we'll wait for our finance people to give us that recommendation. I do think that the fair value accounting guidelines from FASB are just going to be good for the industry in general. They'll provide more transparency, and they'll be good for Bitcoin as an asset class and for Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset for companies that have large cash flows that they want to carry forward.
That's it from this video. Let us know what you think about the future of Bitcoin and MicroStrategy in the comments section. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and also press the bell icon so you never miss any future updates.